Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 11. We have this story mission for House Liao. And this is something I've already tried to do and failed to do a few times now. So you can see I'm taking a huge amount of damage coverage because of it. This mission ended up just being really, really difficult. It's a little strange.
Alright. Seems like the squatters are living on this planet illegally. We've received orders to disable their communications by destroying their radio towers. The settlers may be equipped and dangerous, and we've been authorized to use lethal force if need be.
So all you need to do on this mission is shoot these 4 radio towers, I think it is. The problem is that this is a death trap. There's a valley down here, there's an access point to the left, and there's another access point further down there. And this is basically a swarm of mechs and tanks like I have not seen before. There are so many enemies here that I almost considered, if I was going to fail the mission again, I was going to take that dragon right there that my NPC is piloting, because it's so fast, and I was just going to try and rip through this thing by myself and try to succeed at it that way, because it was so incredibly hard. I did try to take my Warhammer here. I just kind of set all 3 of my partners back at the start, and I just told them to stay there, and then I tried to run the mission by myself, but there are simply too many things shooting at you. I ran down into that valley and I started shooting the antennas, and if you know where they're at, it's not hard to hit them, but there were just too many things shooting at me. So, and you can see there are heavy mechs. It's not like there's a bunch of little mechs. There are a bunch of little mechs. There's a ton of them. It's just awful how many mechs and tanks there are. And of course, here come the little mechs behind us. So they saw us pass by and they decided to come. And you might notice I'm speaking kind of like in past tense about this. I recorded this episode, and much to my chagrin, the audio did not stick for my voice. It didn't collect. It didn't record. And I think that has to do with the button that's on my mic that I periodically press, which is an accident. So, very sad that that happens. So I'm sitting here watching the video and commentating on it. And when this mission is over, we'll get back to more real-time playing. But the hard part about this is you can't just waltz down there with your team, because there are too many things shooting at you. And very quickly everybody dies, or at least ends up with 80 days worth of wounds, and your mech ends up with millions and millions of dollars worth of repairs. The time before this attempt, the attempt before this one, cost me almost $6 million in repairs. And that was when I was like, no, I'm going to try this again. I just tried this mission several different ways, and I was having a real hard time getting anything to work. What I really wanted to do was pull a bunch of mechs up. Since they see us and they come running, I really just wanted to pull them up through that valley and have them come up in this direction. And that was originally my plan here. You could see there's a heavy down there, there's a medium mech still, there's another heavy, so there's 2 more heavies. And then here come all the tanks. And I'm thinking, I want to get a better vantage point and just start sucking these guys up in here. Because here comes another one of the heavies. Yep, and now I've got one of my mechs is out there in front getting pummeled, and I really need him to not do that. They get a little aggressive, which is unfortunate. I wish I could give them more fine-grained control. I wish I could give them more fine-grained instructions to say something like, stay at a range, stay at long range and only fire long-range weapons, or something like that. That would be really cool. But so he's down there just getting absolutely obliterated. and I'm about to go into crit mode. I've commanded him now to go way off into the distance and stay there. Hopefully, you know, causing these mechs to turn around into two different directions. If they want to shoot at him, they're going to have to expose their back to me. That was the idea. So Jaeger mechs are out here. But this was my plan, was thinking if I could pull all of these mechs up here one at a time and shoot them, kind of do a little old EverQuest pulling, then I might have a chance at doing the rest of the mission, because there are still so many turrets and tanks and things down there. I was a puller in EverQuest. It was my favorite thing in the world. I had a Shadow Knight. I had Feigned Death. I was a really good puller. Groups loved having me because I could keep a steady stream of mobs coming. And that made me really happy. So you can see just the number of things still down there pummeling in me as I go to take a peek here. It's not good. So I told him, go stay over there. Way over there. You're wounded. Stay away. And now there's still a medium mech down there. A Centurion. And it becomes really hard because you'd like to issue the just everybody attack command, but you can't. You got to do it one mech at a time now and say only these two guys attack this thing, as I strafe my guy in the back by accident. You can turn off friendly fire, I think, in the options, but I don't want to. That makes it less realistic. Not that giant mechs walking around on a foreign planet shooting things is realistic, but yeah. So now I'm telling my guys, go get that mech. There's only one other mech left, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm like, go get the Centurion. I think there's a Warhammer down here. I can't remember. And then plenty of tanks. So now there's an antenna on my left. You can see the icon for it, but there's actually an antenna on further back to the right there where that yellow marker is, and that's the one I'm trying to get to. It's a little bit of a nightmare here. So there's a medium mech and a light mech. So there's a light mech that I didn't see. There's the antenna. Unfortunately, the building clipped a little bit there. My lasers, so I couldn't finish it off. There we go. Sometimes you gotta go ahead. And then here come the helicopters. Like, this wasn't bad enough already. Now we gotta have helicopters, and I've got two medium mechs and a light mech out there. So I think the only way to really do this mission would have been to keep trying to pull mechs up there, but I was getting impatient after like my 5th attempt at this thing. So I think you could have kept pulling those mechs up there until you completely eradicated this place of mechs. And if you could have done it and kept your own mechs in the green, that would have really helped, because then they'd all be in good condition to shoot these helicopters. So we got the last one. Now we got these stupid helicopters. You can see two of my guys are red. Like, there's nothing left. I'm getting pummeled. Yeah, I don't have any time to do acquisitions. I'm trying to get out of here and not die. You can see the trail of red dots on my scope. I'm trying to tell all my guys now, get over to the waypoint. Get out of here. I'm getting pummeled in the back because I don't have any back armor.
Component destroyed.
No kidding. It's just, this mission is awful.
Nearly there, Commander.
I did not like it.
To pick it up. The communication systems on the illegal settlements are now in the dark. Good job. Our work is done.
But you can see right here, all 4 of my mechs survived. Now they're going to have a huge amount of damage, but they survived, which was the important thing. And then, so much to my amazement here, I took, salvage, not salvage, but I took damage insurance, and we ended up with just over $1 million in total damages. So I think 1.4 that I took in damage insurance paid off. So that was that was that. At any rate, I'm very happy to have that mission out of the way. So now what we have is this transmission from Errant Signal Part 2. We have deciphered a part of the coded messages from that illegal settlement that we just blew up all the antennas for. And it is now clear to us that we intercepted the internal communications of a House Davian strike team gearing up to wreak havoc on one of our industrial worlds. The Chancellor has shifted priority of your operation and is redirecting reinforcements to assist in dealing with these deceitful Davian dogs. Hold them off for as long as you are able. Every Fedrat you destroy will earn you a combat bonus for your continued service to the Confederation. So that's a little poke away. Invasion. The Federated Sons request the services of a dependable mercenary out for its staunch defense. Military forces of House Liao are attempting to validate their continued existence. They are demonstrating a show of force by invading an inconsequential fringe of our territory on the border of Kittery Salient. Ooh, so anyway, there's that. That's the Liao Davion border. And there is this distress call. Our clients are part of a large farming combine, so I'm going to drop you in as close as I can to their main population center. Ooh, interesting. Well, here's what I want to do. Actually, let's go see. Is there anything I need to do this? I'm just going to accept this mission. And then, yeah, so that changes. There was the Davian thing. Oh, there's Invasion Davian Offense. Okay, so these are two different things. So I have this, which I could go do, which is close by. How tough is that Warzone contract? Recommended reputation level 8. And then we've got to get our mechs fixed. So here's the thing. Let's take a look at the star map. How far away are we from there? Quimberton. Recognize that name. Demolition contract times 2. Defense contract times 2. And a demolition contract. There are some missions to do in here. But I'm thinking about, what is it to Buenos Aires? It's 150,000. And then there's Lopez with a high reward quest. That's what, reputation 8? I think before I engage in any more of these, I might want to do a little bit of work and earn some money. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This system here, this is some promising stuff. Quimberton demolition contract times 2. I like the idea of doing that. Demolitions are kind of hit and run kind of thing. There's 3 missions here. So yeah, let's just repair the battle mechs. Okay, do you have enough stuff? Can you get fully fixed? Oh my goodness. Get some hurt people. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna head down in this direction, and then we're gonna stop here and see how hard this mission is. But I'm gonna work my way all the way through these missions. Let's see. How long does it take to get there? 13 days. Nothing's gonna be fixed. We need to earn some money though, and the big thing is, you know, the way that the salvage is set up, you're just always missing your chance to get mechs. But even more than that, I need some more assault mechs. This is not... The mechs that I have are not going to get this done, so... Let's look at the timeline. Yeah. Get my Warhammer back. 51 days. Wow. Jaeger mech and a quick draw. Okay, let's see if we can keep that working. We've still got... Yeah, and these are all in the 40s. So I'm going to do some of these missions, and then we'll get you to the story missions. In fact, I might just do one right now. All right, so as you can see from the date in the bottom right-hand corner, it's about 2 years later than when this episode started. A lot has happened, and that has to do with the difficulty of the game. If we look on the star map, you can see I'm now way over back in Capellan space. The basic, and here's this mission we have down here. The basic problem with the game is that the salvage that you get from doing a mission, and we're just going to start doing a mission so you can see. The salvage is not enough. Look at what we have for battle mechs. I've managed to pick up a couple of grasshoppers. So I've got my compadres driving those. And my pilots on my roster are now finally all healed. A bunch of them got hurt for about 70 plus days. There was a mission that was just it was like a rank 40 something mission, but it was a assassination contract. You had to assassinate 3 different targets. The targets themselves were already difficult with all of the tanks and other hard points shooting at you and stuff. And then when you killed one of the assassination targets, then more mechs dropped out of the sky from a leopard that shows up. And no matter how I tried to do that mission or what order I tried to do it in, it just ended up being impossible. So my guys just got crunched, and I kept getting like $6 million worth of damage, and I couldn't make any progress. So I'm over here in Capellan space, and here's the deal. You can see right now our reputation with House Liao is 4, which stinks. And that's basically the problem when I was over in Merrick space too, is that you can see our Merrick reputation is minus 57. So you get minus 2 negotiation points. You need to boost your reputation with each one of these factions enough to get more reputation points so that when you do a mission for them and a good mech falls, an assault mech, you have enough points to acquire it. I have missed out now on at least 2 Battle Masters and a number of Banshees because I don't have enough points. I know people go in here and mod this. I mean, look, House Karita, we're minus 81, and House Liao 0, and Merrick is minus 2 points. I know people go in there and mod the number and bump it up from 3 to 5 so that they can get enough points to pull the mechs. I'm trying to play the game the way that the developers want you to play the game, but it's really frustrating. So like that's not enough points to get anything. So it's really frustrating. And the problem is the story missions are all difficulty 60, which basically what I've discovered is you've got to have assault mechs for it. Otherwise it's just not enough. You don't have enough power. So I don't know what's going on here with that, but I'm really frustrated with this game. That's why there was no episodes last weekend, because I was having such a frustrating time with it. I'm really frustrated now, and I don't want to have to mod the game so that I can end up with assault mechs, but I may have to because it's just too difficult the way it is. That assassination mission, which was like a difficult 43 or something like that, it was too difficult. They didn't need to drop mechs out of the sky on you like that. It was already really hard.
Just walk up to it in order to pick it up.
And I kept trying to negotiate my team and tell them I'd get somebody injured and I'd tell them to stay away, but the commands here are no good. And they don't listen to you. They go to a waypoint and then they start running around again, and it's just there's so much that could be done better in this game. For instance,
we have substantial combat bonus opportunities the longer you can hold them off.
The number one thing that I think would really help the game is how the missions are aligned. Also, I think just getting more salvage points would help. But also, the commands that you give your troops, like when you're on a map like this, it would be really cool if you could set down waypoints and tell your team, go to waypoint X, go to waypoint B, whatever. And you could set up waypoints for a mission like that. It would be really cool if there was a pre-briefing thing where you could take a look at the map that you're going to be on and you say, okay, this is how we're going to attack this particular this particular assassination mission, so since we have to attack so many people at one time.
Air target spotted.
Target eliminated.
So this is going to be a really easy mission, and I needed a mission to do so that I could explain my thought process behind this game and this series. I love Mechwarrior and I love giant mechs, and who doesn't like big stompy mechs? But this game, for as good as it is also really flawed, and the flaws are starting to catch up with my enjoyment, and they're starting to prohibit it. So what's going to happen?
Reconnaissance flights show increased enemy presence in the vicinity. Be on the lookout for further hostiles.
What's going to happen here is I'm going to have to slow down the number of episodes that I'm uploading, because I have to spend too much time just grinding out dozens upon dozens of missions, losing most of my money to repair costs just to try and get a little bit of cash so that I can somehow maybe buy an assault mech, because clearly I'm not going to be able to salvage one. I'm going to have to grind dozens upon dozens upon dozens of missions just to grind faction so that I can have enough salvage points to maybe get one assault mech when it finally shows up. And that's, I mean, we're talking about a lot more grinding than even a game like Battletech in career mode, which is the definition of grinding, but it's fun because you're trying to chase the Kerensky score, and all the missions are kind of fun, and none of them really feel like too unfair. This game is not like that. It feels very unfair, and a lot of the missions feel very unfair and poorly designed, and you just end up with so many hurt mechs and so many hurt pilots. Like, here's the thing. We all know from Battletech that, you know, it's not enough to win a mission. You have to win a mission without getting hurt. Because your costs, you can't afford to have mechs sitting, being repaired, doing nothing. You have to be out there doing missions. You have to be able to clear a whole system. And we know that. But and in this game it's no different. You have to be able to take these missions on and not lose your head at the same. You got to be able to not lose your mechs while you're doing them and get them so damaged that you spend all of your money repairing them. That doesn't help anybody. That one's gone. And your AI pilots just aren't that good. They do dumb stuff.
Brace for contact, Commander.
Like this, where he's just wandering right in front of me there. It's like, but the worst thing is just being able to manage them. There's no the management system here is no good for your mechs. What you want to be able to do is tell them you want to be able to make your own waypoints and tell them, go to this waypoint, go to that waypoint. All I can do is point at the ground and say, hey, go there, and he'll do it. So I can take my most hurt mech and be like, well, go right there.
Reposition successful, Commander.
Yeah, and then once they do that, it really doesn't matter. They're just gonna keep doing this.
Designated grid location.
Yeah. Yes, I know my heat is.
New target assassin.
Target received. Engaging.
So big stompy mechs are cool. The implementation of big stompy mechs in this game is not so cool. I mean, I've already had to mod it once to make sure I can get this radar working.
Great work, Commander. satisfied our contract and have a narrow window to evac if you're ready.
A narrow window to evac, she says. And then there's, you know, what's going to show up. Nothing interesting. So. But the hardest part about the game is just that an assault mech drops and you've got no chance to pick it up. Oh, almost. So I think if salvaging worked a little better, look, 15 points and it's 18 for the Griffin. So we get nothing. We get no mech. You know, I think if salvaging worked better, then it would be easier to stomach this game. But with this, and I know this has been the #1 complaint of a lot of people, and this is why they just go mod it. And I think I'm going to have to mod it in the end too. I think that's going to be the only way, because it's just too annoying otherwise. I got to go to my battle mechs here. And because one of my mechs didn't have, or this way. Let's fix his loadout. Oh, he's got this AC2 burst fire. It, he's got what? One, yeah, do this. Put that there. Take that one off. Put that one there. Long energy laser. You don't get the good ones. Then just do this. Do the poor man stuff. Make a match. Yeah, so it has the potential to be a really awesome game. But I don't want to grind these missions over and over and over and over again just to get enough faction to maybe get a couple more extra salvage points to then miss getting an assault mech by 2 points instead of 10 points. It's like, man. So this is where I'm at with the game. So we'll take a look at this view transmission. This is a mission for these guys, and then where it is, and it's right here. So it's a 45 and it's a demolition and it's a special mission. So target the new Certus shipyards, and it's a 6. That's what we're at right now for reputation. So let's do this mission, and you can see, I mean, you can put everything in salvage shares. So a salvage share is a value of 3, which means we should have 21. Let's see if the math is correct at the end. Remember that number, 21. We should get 21 points. I'm not 100% sure how the math works on this thing. These are okay. What I'm gonna do is, in fact, have both of my biggest mechs here are gonna be used, and then the quick draw, which isn't as good of a mech as I'd like it to be. Do I have anybody that has a slightly better? 3599. He's on there. He's on. You can go Freeman. Let's go. Freeman was hurt. That's why he was out. A bunch of people got hurt.
Attention. Prepare for battle mech departure.
So we'll see what this mission's like.
Hangar doors open. Stand
So
clear.
at the very beginning of the game, it was really easy to just do one mission after another and put those on video and slap them out there. One on Saturday and one on Sunday. But
I'm dropping you off not far from a so-called shadow station. The new Certus shipyards are making deals under the table, selling cheap dropships to the Capellan Confederation. Let's take down the transfer station and put a halt to the illegal trade. But just a heads up, expect security forces to be on alert out here.
what I'd like to do though is, you know, the goal was to only show like the special missions and the story missions. And there's just a lot of grinding that has to happen between all of those. So this may be a series where I end up only posting one every, you know, 1 or 2 videos a month. I mean, it's just the way it may be. I'm just gonna have to grind a lot. So we got a lot of mechs here. Got a bunch of mechs.
Our target is now marked. Go get him.
Okay, so what do I have to do? Destroy it? Okay, yeah, I gotta just... So I'm gonna send my guys here. I'm trying to get them to... Wow, that thing. Still not having it, was it? Yikes. Okay, I need to get in here. Does blowing that up count? Something tells me no.
Target destroyed.
8 critical. Okay. So on the destruction missions,
I got it.
yeah, you guys keep killing things. That's why I like this mech set up the way it is, even though I'm getting yelled at for it being hot.
Taking heavy damage.
Is that I've got the big long lasers. Listen,
Target Phoenix.
you guys go destroy that thing. Let me handle the buildings. With these things, with these 2 lasers, the pulse lasers,
At reduced efficiency. Keep on smashing.
I can pretty much fire them back to back. Which is really nice. The small lasers and the medium pulse, so. I like that. And then I can use the long lasers against bigger stuff. What I've kind of figured out on these missions, which I haven't had a lot of really, is these go in and destroy missions is to not worry about killing the mechs, let my team do that.
The area is down to half capacity. Keep going.
But I need to focus on destroying the buildings, and then I can just have them handle the mechs.
Warehouse destroyed.
And we have more mechs coming.
New target urban.
Focusing on issue target.
Yeah, get that urban mech out of here.
I've lost the components.
Oh no, okay, coats. That's a grasshopper.
On my way, sir.
Our payday is nearly here, Commander. Just keep smashing.
Trying.
Skull unit receiving heavy fire. Reposition successful, Commander.
Stay out of the way there, honey. %. Oh, I got a whole structure over here.
Destroyed the base generator. Enemy mech eliminated.
Okay, let's see here.
New target central.
Priority target
Kill that
received.
thing, except for you.
Mech eliminated.
Target
Tango down.
What's left here? Oh, I think this thing.
Boom. Dead.
Okay, is that it? Are we done? Blow up the whole thing? Yeah, we do.
At the requested position, Commander.
Yeah, I need to get Freeman out of here too. The quick draw getting pummeled.
Shifting to your target, Commander.
Let's get this guy dead and then get out of here. Here, a plane or something.
target destroyed.
What do we have here?
Got another one.
Let's get out of here. So you can see how hurt Coates is. Uh-oh, and now there's a heavy on the field. Okay.
Target acquired.
ain't shooting at me, but we're supposed to have 21 points. Oh crud, there's a big one over there too. Oh man. Okay, let's just get out of
New
here.
target, Jägermech.
I would like to blow up this stuff, but we're gonna lose Coates, Freeman, and Tapia all. They're all really low right now. And there's a Wolverine. You can see this. Look, they dropped these guys out of the sky on us, and it's like, I already have. I'm gonna lose these mechs. Yep, I'm gonna lose these mechs. It just stinks.
I'm at the location, Commander.
Critical. Target destroyed.
Component destroyed.
Yep. Components
So a
destroyed.
quick reading of the damage you caused, and it looks like the facility is completely incapacitated.
Thunderbolt.
I don't think any ships will be passing through here for a long time.
I'm gonna lose my mechs if you don't hurry up and get me on board there, Rihanna. So this is gonna cost a ton of money to repair, because those guys all took a beating. So they got completely thumped. We end up with 24 points. I don't know how 7 turns into 24, but whatever. And of course you miss out on the Jägermech by 3 points. Okay. So, share cost for an AC-10 too. Well, that's something. And look, 1.5 million damage. I mean, by the time you get done bringing that mech in and selling it and paying for all your hurt mechs, you've made nothing. You're just treading water the whole time. So, I think you guys can see where I'm going with this game. It's not doing it for me. So I know people wanted me to keep playing this, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. I mean, I'm going to keep playing it because I want to know how the story ends, but I think I'm going to have to go in and mod the shares so I can start pulling off more mechs, because this is, financially, this is untenable. You know, this just isn't going to work. It's not conducive to actually getting the mechs that you need to do the harder missions, because you need the assault mechs and we can't get them. And if you saw when we were traveling, maybe you saw like there was a hero mech down here. Don't get excited, it was a cicada. So yeah, a hero cicada. Woohoo! That's turning me on. So I'm gonna slowly plink away at this, but I would tell you folks, expect maybe 1 episode a month. While I figure things out. Probably going to have to mod it, make sure I get more shares, try to get some assault mechs, and then maybe we can start to do some of the story missions, because the big flaw with the game right now is that the difficulty curve goes up in a way that's not conducive to having fun. They didn't balance this. They didn't streamline it. The first part of the game is really fun, and you start to acquire a few mechs, and you're thinking, okay. But then with the way factions work and everything, and the salvage points, it's just it's bogus. It's really bogus. Could have been better. I have more fun playing Battletech, and I have 100 times more fun playing other games, and that's what I'd like to do on this channel, is just play the things that make me have fun, and this is not it. So I'll let you know if I post any more, but don't expect them, and if you do, just expect a trickle, maybe 1 video a month. Folks, thanks for watching. As always, have fun, happy gaming. Leave questions, comments down below. Thumbs up, subscribe, join my Patreon. I'll see you all next time.